No, sorry. Where were we?
Sounds like a friend.
As a documentary filmmaker, I was very excited to explore the American desert. So much unknown to be discovered. I thought maybe I would discover alien life form, maybe a new type of rock. But instead, I found something even weirder. It was the younger sibling of American PBS painter Bob Ross.
How old are you?
I don't know.
You don't know how old you are?
No, my parents lost the birth certificate when I was born. They're sort of caught up with Bob's genius and his painting, so no one really knows.
Genius is a funny word. I don't know where it comes from, nor do I care. But I wondered if the real genius was Barbara Ross. With a quick Google search, I was able to discover that I was not the only one who thought this. You received the MacArthur Genius Grant Award. It's very prestigious, Barb.
Yes, I did. I did win it this year. Mostly because I'm Bob Ross's little sister, I think. I have a lot of clout with the name. So, the money's gone. I spent it all. Luckily, I had a little bit reserved to invest in this great opportunity of my desert home, which is available on Airbnb, Verbo, and keyunderthemat.com.
At one point, Barbara turned the camera around on my assistant. It made us both feel very uncomfortable and unsafe. But is that not the job of the genius? To shake up the status quo and make us wonder what is real. Your brother often talked about mistakes, happy accidents. Would you describe your current predicament as a mistake?
Toby, listen. You work for Vice. You're an art guy. You get it. There's an ebb and flow to life. Creative energy, force. Money is spiritual. Sand to sand, dust to dust. Rocks to debit cards. Loan sharks to loan birds in the sky. It's all potatoes to me.
I may never know why she called me Toby, or why she agreed to be interviewed with the law hot on her trails. But what I do know is that this was the happiest mistake of my career. Barbara Ross had changed my life, and I am sure she has changed yours.
Wow. Hope Barb's okay. She seems like she's in a lot of trouble out there in the desert, having an existential crisis. Been there. You know what that sound means? It's time for our subject matter expert. Okay, nice people, it's time to talk to our subject matter expert on mistakes. But first, I want to bring in a comedy pal of mine to talk about mistakes. Please welcome to the show, Ballew.
Yo, what's up?
You guys can keep up with Bo on YouTube. His channel is just at Ballew, or Instagram and Twitter. His handles there are both Ballew. Bo, let's talk mistakes, my dear.
Oh God, I almost feel attacked for being on this one. It's like, oh, this is a guy who is notorious for messing up. He's perfect. Let's get him on.
What's the best mistake you've ever made?
That's a good question. I mean, because when you think about like a mistake, it can be positive if you allow it to be, right? So it's like a best mistake for me. You know, I'll say this. I joined a fraternity my freshman year of college, and that was a mistake.
I did that too.
Was it a mistake for you? If it's not, that's cool. I'm not judging.
In some ways, not at all, because I've talked about this before. I was such a nerd, even at the time I was like 19 years old. And of course, I wanted to join a fraternity because it looked fun and the parties. But honestly, in the back of my mind, I was like, this will be an interesting cultural experience.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
right.
that nerdy as hell? No, this is 100% true. I was like, I'm going, because we're both from like the South. With I went to Clemson, and like, which is like a football school in the South. So I was just like, this is just part of it. Like, I'm going to put on this button up and bow tie and go to football games. And I really was like, this is like sociology, you know? And of course, I also wanted to, like, you know, drink beer out of a beer funnel and all that too.
And then it's 4 years later and you're like, oh, I guess I studied chemical engineering that time. Okay. No, but it was a good mistake because I mean I did meet people who were cool and like, but like going through something like that, like I felt like I learned like so much about who I am as a person and what like kind of values I hold just from like kind of being in a place I did not belong at all. You know what I mean?
So those value structures did not align.
Yeah, no, not at all. And just like the way I present as a person and just like kind of exist does not mesh with that at all. And I stayed true to myself, which is surprising given who I was as a person then. So
That's
it was
truly
good.
so impressive because when you're a freshman in college, you're just looking for anyone to tell you who to date.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess I just didn't realize I was waiting for myself to tell myself who I am, you know, which is kind of cool.
I love that. That's very profound.
Thank you.
Truly.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
try very hard.
All right, Bo, are you ready to meet our subject matter expert on mistakes?
Let's rock and roll. Let's do this.